What is up, guys? Eric here from Real Film Reviews, bringing you another movie review, this time for the new Hugh Jackman film, The Greatest Showman. The Greatest Showman is directed by Michael Gracie, stars Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, Michelle Williams, and Zendaya. It tells the true story of P.T. Barnum and the founding of the P.T. Barnum Circus, one of the largest attractions and longest lasting attractions in American history. This film in particular follows Barnum's life and career and what eventually led him to this, all of the hardships that he went through, and where he ended up in life. Now you might be wondering, how's this movie rated PG if this is a serious biopic about an entrepreneur from America's past? Well, that's because it's a musical. Yes, they decided to take the story of P.T. Barnum, who, yes, created a circus, and rather than make a serious biopic about this man's life, who lived a rather interesting one, and turn it into a happy-go-lucky musical that's a holiday film? Now, I do want to say, as someone who cares about history, that was a little bit of something that irked me right away about this film, was it's sort of just this, like, happy, fun tale about Barnum and doesn't really focus on any of the actual bad things he did in his life, which is fine. I'm okay with a film sort of looking past some of the problems that a person had in their life. However, you can't really take someone like P.T. Barnum, who was this massive entrepreneur from America's history, and then just turn his story into a musical about him being poor and getting rich. Now, that's not to say this film did everything terribly. Honestly, the performances in it were solid. I thought Jackman was really good. He's good at singing. I mean, granted, this performance doesn't exactly have the range of some of the previous performances he's had in his career, but he does do a good job with the musical numbers, and he sells the role. Zac Efron does a good job, Zendaya does a good job, Michelle Williams does a good job. There's nowhere to really complain performance-wise. And it is an interesting story from America's history. Granted, it is a little bit of like a stereotypical American dream, the way they decided to film it and tell the story, but still, it was interesting, and you do learn some things about this time period and what Barnum did to gain his success. The choreography and all the musical numbers was really good, and I would be lying if I said I didn't at least enjoy a couple of the songs in the film. I didn't really care for most of them, but there were two in particular that I did enjoy. One of them I have listened to since watching the film, so I would say there is one genuinely solid song, and then maybe one other one that's alright, and then the rest to me are kind of just throwaway songs. Zac Efron honestly was maybe my favorite part of this film, but he's not in it very much, and I think that's a big issue with this film, is that it is really promoting the fact that you got Zac Efron and Zendaya in this film, and they really aren't in the movie very much at all. This film really underutilized Zac Efron and Zendaya. While they're both really musically inclined, Zac Efron in particular is also a pretty solid actor, and I think that they really didn't use them to their full potential in this film. While they each have their moments in the movie, overall in the total story, they really weren't on screen as much as you would expect. Just a little thing that made me mad, the CGI on the animals in this film is dreadfully bad. Like, the CGI is just terrible. I don't understand why. Why make a shot that has a showcase of a CGI animal if you know it's going to look bad? Just think of a different shot, because all it does is make people in the theater look at it and go, ooh, you could have done better with that. But the things that really got to me about this movie are really heavily focused on the script and the fact that it's a musical. Like I said earlier, why is this a rated PG musical about a man who went into politics when he quit the circus? This is a guy that literally cheated on his wife. He's not some happy-go-lucky character. Everyone has their demons, and P.T. Barnum is no different. And I really think that this film lacked any character development, any deep story because of that. It decided to be extremely lighthearted and take everything with a grain of salt, and I really didn't enjoy that. While you get the solid performances from the actors, most of the script just feels like the plot is moving forward, but it's not elevating. It's just staying at this one place and continuing forward. The beginning, oh no, Hugh Jackman's a poor boy, and then all of a sudden Hugh Jackman's a rich boy because he has a circus, and then that's it. That's all of his character development. That's the whole film for Hugh Jackman's character. I'm not spoiling anything in telling you that because everyone knows Barnum's Circus ended up being a success, but that's it. There's no more development to him. It's just poor to rich to that's it. That's all all he's got. Efron had little to no character development. No one else in this film has development. And that's so important, especially when you're trying to tell a story of someone who actually existed. You have to show that they had issues, that they had problems, that they grew past those issues and problems and elevated their lives to a higher point. This film does not show that at all. It just shows a poor guy who got rich and was kind of a dick sometimes. The plot moves at a crawl because of this. It doesn't ever feel like you're seeing the story have those like ups and downs like a story should have. It just feels like it's moving forward. And while that's a good thing that it's moving forward because you're getting closer to the end, it doesn't feel like you're gaining anything from it. You don't feel attached. You're not growing to care about these characters. They're just there and you're watching this, but that's it. You never feel that attachment that is so important when you're watching a story about real people. And then to go along with that, I don't know really how to say this without just sort of saying it abruptly, but the characters in this film that P.T. Barnum hired in real life to do his pseudo freak show back then, I know that that is an insensitive term, but that's what it was back then. They didn't hire actual performers from real life that do those things. They just hired actors and put prosthetics on them, which to me is sort of insulting because shows like American Horror Story and Carnival have shown that there are actors out there that have those talents, that are those circus performers that can come and do these roles in films, but rather than doing that, they just decided to throw prosthetics onto just other actors rather than hiring the actual people that could do these roles. This movie was all flash and no substance. Yes, it had fun choreography with fire and fireworks and cool dancing, and it had awesome trapeze scenes, and it's got nice singing and some fun songs, but that's it. In terms of the story, there's nothing to grab onto. It's just, this guy started a circus, look at how shiny it is. And any of the problems that come up in the plot feel so minute and feel like they will just pass within time and that everything will just be solved. It never felt like there was a serious moment of, wow, this guy's career might be over, this could be it. It just sort of was like, yeah, he'll probably be alright. I'm gonna give The Greatest Showman a D+. This movie did little to nothing for me. I thought it had a couple decent songs and fun choreography and decent performances from everybody on the cast, but I really just think the script had nothing to it. There was nothing there for a true audience to grab a hold of and enjoy. If you like Zac Efron and Jackman, maybe check it out when it gets put on Netflix or something, but I don't recommend seeing it in theaters. Well guys, as always, I'm Eric. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought of The Greatest Showman, share everything we do here on Real Film Reviews, and hope to see you guys later.